Where they are with us, whether we've got your information, go ahead and tell us what happened in court.
See, this batch of petitions have challenged the 10% quota for poor in jobs and as well as in education. So this was taken up today, and the petitioner's basic argument is it's exceeding the 50% cap which has been laid down by the Supreme Court. They also argued, saying the other point is about the Constitution only says that there is no provision for economically weaker sections. Quota should be given only socially backward people. But Chief Justice Bench said that we are examining it, we are issuing notices. And some people wanted to stay. They said, Chief Justice said, we are not saying anything, we are not passing any orders, we will examine it. So Centre will have to respond to these petitions within 4 weeks. So once Centre files its reply, regular hearing will begin.
All right. What was it that the petitioners' lawyers exactly said about why this is something that needs to be examined and perhaps even stalled? Could you give us more details on that, Vaidya?
Amitoj, before going into right now, this 10% quota can be implemented. So the case will be taken up only probably after post-elections, it seems so. So it seems after 2 or 3 months. So right now, this 10% quota can go on. So basically, the petition's argument is, number one, the Constitution provides quota only for socially backward people. Economic criteria is not provision in the Constitution, so it's completely illegal and unconstitutional. Secondly, they said the Supreme Court has already laid down judgment, constitutional judgment, which puts a cap of 50% for quota altogether. So this 10% quota will exceed the 50% quota, so it can't be there. So that's why they want this 10% quota to be quashed.
Sorry,
anyway,
sir?
This will be examined.
Sorry, Vaidya sir, just to be clear on one aspect, you just mentioned that this is likely to be, if there is any change likely from the Supreme Court in terms of an order, it's not likely to happen before the elections. Is that correct?
It seems so, because today is January end. So within 4 weeks, they will have to respond. So 4 weeks means by the February is over, probably in March. So by the time elections will be announced, even though the argument begins, I don't think anything will happen before the polls. This is my assumption.
This is your understanding based on your years of experience of how legal processes take place, particularly in cases like this. You can expect that once there is a reply from the government that has been sought by the Supreme Court with the notice that they've sent, you could have another hearing given, and that could eventually lead into the time the elections already come into play. And as Gujarat has already indicated, the state of Gujarat has already implemented this 10% quota in some way or the other. So again, once again, I just want to understand from you, Vaidya sir, was there no representation from the government in any situation? There was nothing said from the government side, or could you tell us about that, or was it just the petitioners?
See, government lawyer, Solicitor General Mr. Tushar Mehta was also there. He said the Attorney General is leading this, he will come soon. But Chief Justice said, we are examining it, we are only issuing notice. Then he persisted saying that please say no stay. But Chief Justice said we are not passing any orders. So normally what happens, Amitoj, in Supreme Court, once the notice is issued, then only the other party, the Centre here, comes to the court and comes with a proper reply and arguments go on. So it's just a preliminary thing. So no need for the Centre to be present here. Anyway, on a cautious way, the solicitor was there and AG was supposed to come. He was caught up in some other matter, so Solicitor General wanted a passover, it can be taken up later. But Chief Justice said we are only examining, just notice we are issuing. So that's the issue.
I think, Vaidya sir, the big news here is that it is very likely, as you've indicated, that the 10% quota will not be stayed by the Supreme Court before the elections. So going into the elections, the government, the Prime Minister Modi's party and the NDA in general will be able to use this as a political plank to garner votes. That's the big news out here. Am I right?
The first point is there is no stay at all. So any law passed today, there is no stay on the 10% quota right now. So any law passed by the Parliament, the Supreme Court doesn't stay it immediately, because once you stay, then it means the petition itself is decided. So they will go into the validity now. So right now you are right. Till the elections are announced, I think 10% quota will go on. In case Supreme Court finds it's constitutionally not valid, it's unconstitutional, then they may strike it at a later period. But anyway, that's at a later time. We don't know what will happen.
Of course we don't, but for the moment it does seem like that. Thanks so much for that, Vedas. We're going to continue to come back to you as and when we have more information. Thanks so much for that.